Everyone, RK, I know I've got a little bit of different angle for you today, but that's quite alright. I want to try something else for a little Robservation. Um, so this weekend was pretty exciting. Of course, Saturday, I had the trading cards that came in. They ended up being alright, but Sunday was supposed to be Fantasticon with my friend, but he had to back out because he just couldn't make it. So a few days before that, I had told a couple of my friends, I said, look, my buddy can't make it, so I'm probably not going to go to Fantasticon and be up in Toledo like I wanted. And they were asking me how many tickets I'd gotten. Well, I got them last month from the guys that own CNC Games here in Fremont because they had the little flyer up of who was going to be there, which was some of the VSQ people, like Jason Mewes, Brian O'Halloran, Marilyn Gigliotti, Joey Lauren Adams. Let's see who else. Um, Michael J. Fox's girlfriend in the first Back to the Future, she was going to be there posing the the model of DeLorean. Donald Gibb, who you people should know from Bloodsport. Maybe Bloodsport? I can't remember. I still have to watch that yet. And other smaller bits, but his biggest role that everyone really pretty much knows him is from the football player Ogre from the Alpha Betas from Revenge of the Nerds. And then, later on in the film franchise, he turned into a nerd himself. So, and this was going to be my first con in 9 years. My last one was Wizard World 2016. It was good. That one was good. Saturday was panel day, so I sat all day in a room like with Matt Smith, was one of the Doctor Who's. Let's see, and a bunch of Marvel stars, the Russo brothers, because they were from Cleveland. Frank Grillo, who played Crossbones. Let's see who else. Karen Gillan was there. A couple of the girls that from Agents of Shield were on there, and let's see who else. I can't think of the actor's name now, but he played Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy. Michael Rooker. He was there. Brett Spinner was there. Robert Englund was in that room. Some of them I took breaks for. Just didn't want to be bored out of my mind all day just sitting on panel after panel, even though they were all good panels. And then, of course, Chris Hemsworth, Thor. So I was in a room with Thor one day. Now that show, Wizard World Cleveland, was good. However, behind the scenes stuff that was kind of like it for me. That was kind of like there were some things outside of it that made me that was it with Toxic Pop. We won't go into that. But so I had anyway 3 tickets. My buddy couldn't go. So Thursday night, my friends John and Beth said, "Hey, if you still want to go, we can come get you. You can crash here for the night. We can go up Sunday. We rearranged our schedules around. Sort of a last minute thing. So I was like, all right, let's do that. So Saturday night, picked me up. I had Mr. Hero for the first time to eat. Never had Mr. Hero, so that was pretty good. Sunday morning, we everyone's getting up, getting around and dressed, and it took me a little while because unfortunately, I'll break it to you guys because I ain't bullshitting anybody. The foot that was fixed, healed up, busted open again. So tomorrow, as of this video, Tuesday morning, I'll be seeing the foot doctor again. It's, how can I put it? So I've been putting a lot of antibiotic on it. I've gotten a lot of wrap and rolls and all that good stuff on it. It doesn't look too bad wound wise per se, so I'm hoping it's just superficial again. Needless to say, we were kind of watching it. So when I packed up everything, I decided to take my cane along for walking around, which is a good thing I did. I don't know, even though I'm pretty active on my feet and stuff, you know, with my toes cut off on my right foot and I'm missing my other big toe. Yeah, I've only got 4 toes. Um, my balance is a little wonky at times. Sometimes some days I'm good, but when we were, so anyway, we get up there. Glad I had the cane. We pretty much practically got to be right on in, which was pretty cool. I'm just looking at some of the things, and people are dressed in costumes, and we went into the hall. John and Beth had never been to a convention before, so we get in there. This dealer just starts talking our heads off, and he had Funko Pops, and it's kind of like, well, let's get our bearings with us to kind of check out the floor and everything. I mean, as far as I knew, I kind of, even though I had never been to a Fantasticon before, I kind of know the lay of the land of comic conventions. So we were kind of just started walking around, ran into some people that were cosplaying as Star Wars people. This one dude was big, tall, and boy, was of course big, tall people. What do they usually be in Star Wars when they cosplay? A Wookiee. It wasn't too bad as a Wookiee Super Saiyan, but it was a creepy Wookiee. I mean, Beth at first she was like, "I ain't getting a picture. That Wookiee's scary." But I did because it's Star Wars. I love taking pictures with everyone that's in cool costumes and everything. I didn't get too many this time. That's all right. I'll show you the pictures anyway here in a little bit. And then we ran into a guy who made a replica of Robbie the robot from Lost in Space, which was pretty cool. We're walking around, and we turn around, and there's all these different dealer booths selling stuff, and I was kind of surprised at all the different vendors, because I've never been to the Glass City, Fantasticon before. So we turned and we started seeing some of the little stuff, and then I found this one, John Dexter. He signed this. He made this comic, Alpha Dogs. It's about a loose pit bull. I think it has powers, but he has other dogs in there, and we got to talking because I'm a dog person. You guys have seen my pet videos. Come on. I have Miko. I have Kit Kat. There's Fred, and there's Sissy. And so I was like, well, is there a husky in the story? He goes, yeah. And I said, perfect. Impulse buy number 1. So I'm really looking forward to, checking this out. I think it looks really good. So that was it. Let's see. What was number 2? Number 2 actually didn't happen. It didn't happen until later on. Because, like I said, lay of the land, wanted to get everything done. We got there after 11, but it was decent enough. So we're walking on the other side where, all the Clerks people were at. And most of the other actors and everything was back there where we wanted to be. So we went and got our autographs. I'll show you pictures, don't worry. So we got all of our Clerks and View stuff done. This is my box of Clerks 10th Anniversary Collector's Edition. Muse signed this in 2016, so at Wizard World. So I really didn't need his on this, but there's Brian O'Halloran's, and there's Marilyn Gigliotti, and and then of course it's my Chase and Amy. There's big one, the Nooch. You can tell that's Jason Mewes, and then there's Joey Lauren Adams. So I was extremely happy with that. First we started with Mewes. I wanted to get him done, and then next to him was Joey Lauren Adams, but then I think she was busy with other people. But Marilyn was there. And backstory, Marilyn Gigliotti was my first professional interview, 2010 Motor City Comic Con. But if you go into my playlist, you can see on my interviews, it's right in there. It was horrible. I mean it was horrible. All my other interviews have since been better. But the first time is not always the best too, they say. But we talked for a second, Marilyn and I said, "You're not going to remember me." She goes, "You look familiar." And I said, Motor City Comic Con 2010. I said, "You were my first professional interview." She goes, "I was?" I said, "Yep." I said, "We were standing in the concession line. You came up to me and asked me what looked good. You saw my press pass. And then you asked me if I wanted to interview." No, it was, I've gotten better with celebrities since then. So, like I said, she signed that. We talked for a little bit. Took our picture. Then next up, I was off to Joey Lauren Adams, which was, we'll get to it because it's a good one. It's a good one. Let's see if I can show you. Let's see if the pictures will show up on here too. Because I really want to show you guys. Yeah, it will. I remember how to do this now. It's not going to show on the camera because it might not, but we have, I can pull it up this way. There we go. There we go. So I'll start showing. Oh, come on. Alright, fine. There's me with the Star Wars people. Me and John and Beth with the robot. There I am with Musy. Which, was kind of... Oh, no, he just makes all these funny faces. There we go. Oh, no, if he wasn't happy or not, but there I am with Marilyn. Oh, she's such a sweetheart. That person really took a lot of pictures of me with her, which is pretty cool. They had volunteers that helped them out and stuff. Now there I am with Joey Lauren Adams. Don't I look happy? And here's the best part. We got ready to take the pictures together. She just comes right on up. I'm sweating as a dog because I'm a fat fuck. You all know that. Fat fuck fanboy. Yes, even at 50. I'll admit to that. And then we, just sweating, and she just sniffs me. She goes, "You smell really good." And I'm like, "But I'm sweaty." She goes, "You smell nice." And I had on Stetson. Stetson's my cologne. So I'm kind of like, Joey Lauren Adams is into me. This is cool. Never been hit on by a celebrity, so there you go, ladies. If Joey Lauren Adams thinks I'm hot, smelling good, you should too. I'm boyfriend material. I'm husband material. And then at the end, there we go. We went. There's Brian O'Halloran, and we talked about Detroit Fan Fair 2010 and me interviewing him, and we talked about him being on the floor. He's doing really good. If you've never seen it, you ought to watch it. And then I walked back because we had a few minutes before the 1 o'clock BP with all the BSQ cast. So this is a picture of me with Dirk Manning, autograph, a comic book writer and artist. I bought 2 books from him. I bought Arn Anderson's graphic novel and Tony Schiavone's graphic novel. He happened to have both as Kickstarter copies left over. So he signed both of them, and the Arn Anderson one I'll show you here in a few minutes. Something really cool about that. Then here's John, Beth, and I with the BSQ cast. That was pretty cool. That was the most expensive thing that I spent for that week. And then we did all that, and then we took a break, and then we went back for about like a half hour, 45 minutes, just to kind of finish up, do some shopping. And I still hadn't met Donald Gibb yet, so here's Ogre and I. He was sitting down because he was just getting through cancer, so, which is understandable. I know what cancer is, so we sat down for that picture. So he signed my copy of Revenge of the Nerds Penny-Rated Edition. And then this is a box set for First and 10, the complete collection, where he played Leslie Dr. Death Crunchner. That's where he signed it. Now to get back to what I got from Dirk Manning. Tony Schiavone, Butts and Seats graphic novel. Like I said, he had 1 left on the floor. He was surprised that he had like 1. So he like, at first I was just going to get the soft cover, but he said there's only 1 of these left on the hardcover Kickstarter edition. So I was like, all right, I will go ahead and grab it. And he says, oh, I also have Arn Anderson, My Life as the Enforcer. It's got some gold lining on it, which is pretty cool. But besides that, Dirk Manning signed both books. But on top of the Arn Anderson one, and to my surprise, there's also this little sheet. You know, there's Dirk Manning, there's a couple autographs, and then look at the bottom. It came with an Arn Anderson auto. That is like, wow for me. And it was only $35. To include the book with the auto, $35. My 2 loves, comic and wrestling, and thank you, God, for your blessing. Thank you, Dad, for your help with what you've given me and my sister. Still miss you, but thank you for the fun. The opportunity to have as much fun as I did this weekend. Thank you, Daddy. And like I said, after we got our clerk's picture group photo, we took a break, which I kind of needed. I was sweating, even though I had my cane. My legs were a little shaky. I don't know what's going on lately. We've done some tests on my legs and my vascular tests. Those are good. But like I said, oh, and then before the clerk stuff, we ran into a guy who wrote some history books about Toledo area. So John and Beth got 3 books from him, and I picked up a Haunted Toledo book that I had him sign for my mom. So after like I said, then I'll go back to the clerks. The clerks, after the picture, we took a break. We sat down, cooled our jets, got something to drink. It's expensive there. $16 for 3 bottles of pop. Jeez, somebody's making a killing. So after we cooled down, Oh, I forgot to, we ran into professional wrestler Rhino, who we all kind of know locally. I mean, he's run IWR here in the area. He's looking to do more here in this area with IWR, which is pretty cool. So we all got to talk to him for a little bit. Like I said, took a break, sat down, cooled off. That's when we noticed while we were sitting, one of our favorite local wrestlers came in because he was hanging out with Rhino because he knows him too and works with him. And we got to see the Bachelor Ben Boone, which was pretty cool. And he just came over and talked to us for a minute. That was sweet. Thanks, Booney, for the talk. And then I got up, went to the bathroom, and then on the way back, decided to get shirts. And I got it. John, Beth, and I all Fantasticon shirts. Yeah, that was on me. Yeah. I'm a nice guy. I know. And ran into another friend of ours from wrestling, and we talked for a little while. So, I mean, the whole day was fun. And then we went back in. Like I said, that was spending time because, then you don't want to just get there and mainly carry everything around for the whole show. You kind of want to walk around. I think then the best part is getting the autographs you want and the pictures you want. And then at the end, do your shopping before you leave. And then on top of that, ran into artist Scott Rosema. He was selling prints. I had seen him before when we were waiting on our clerk's pictures, which didn't take too long. We were like second or third in line. So, talked to him, looked at the prints. The prints were pretty awesome. So, he gave me the prices, like 1 for 20, 2 for 25, and 3 for 10. So, I was like, well, I know there's 2 that I know I want. And he was like, he's like, which ones do you want? And I said, guess. He immediately guessed Captain America because I had a Captain America shirt on that I just bought for the event. So, and he autographed all of them. So, thank you, Scott Roma, for doing this. And then I said, there's another one I wanted, and he's like, which one? I said, you're going to have to guess. I said, you ain't going to guess this. Which he didn't. And he was shocked that I am a fan of the Phantom. So he was like, I can't believe someone your age likes the Phantom. And I said, I've got a box full from Australia's fruit publication that's still printing them. I buy them from time to time. It's almost like a box full. Then I had to go with the third one. So I went with Space Ghost. And then right before that, there was a lady selling t-shirts of sports teams with stormtroopers on them. So, again, I decided to... This is getting very long. I'm sorry. Stormtrooper Cleveland Brown mix. I bought me and my mom and my brother all one. Brought them home. And then, after the prints, then John was already taking their stuff to the car. And then Beth waited on me, which she's a sweetheart for waiting on me. Making sure I was all right, So I said, well, all right, let's, we'll still waiting on Ogre, because Ogre took a little break. So he wasn't there, so I went to get the prints, and I figured I'll get the prints, and then if Ogre still isn't there, I said, we'll go, but we turned around the corner, and he was finally back, so hurried up and did that. Then we left. So all in all, we were there maybe a little bit after 11, and we were out of there by 2. We were out of there by 3 because I had called Mom at 2:50 and said, "Hey, I've got some surprises for you when I get home." "Oh, you didn't have to do that." I'm like, "I know, but you were gonna like them anyway." And of course, we were all hungry, so we went to. I can't remember if it's all. I think it's called Old Bucket of Nails. It's an English pub in Toledo. They're down by the river. In a van down by the river. No, they're not in a van down by the river. It's a nice big restaurant right by the river. And John and Beth had only been there once. I've never been there. So with what I had took out for the event, and spoiling people, it's like, well, all right, we'll go here. We'll eat. So it was very expensive. The food was really good. I can't complain. It was expensive, but good time was had by all. Then I got home at a decent time on Sunday and reporting back to you how fun everything was, and it was a good time. And John and Beth had fun, and for their first con, they, like I said, I knew I would be having fun, so I was good. I wanted to experience and seeing how they were, and they were I don't know if I could say starstruck, but for some reason, John was just gabbing it up with everybody. So I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed seeing the things that they bought. They bought a bunch of different Funko Pops. Some were signed, which is pretty cool. Like one was signed by Ronald McDonald from like 84 to 91 or something like that. That was pretty cool. A glow in the dark Twinkie. Snap Crackle Pop. They got some holographic 3D posters, which is cool. Ornaments. I don't know how the ornaments maybe survived, or if I should have said that. Maybe they were gifts. Oops. And a blanket. And they bought some books to get signed by that author that I forget his name is. And they bought a neon Batman light too. So I got to see them experience that and get the autographs, and love getting their pictures with what they got the pictures with and who they got and the autographs. And I only wish that I had been able to get more tickets for other friends to come, but all I got was this 3, which that's all the guys at CNC would give me. So, and if any of my friends are out there that are upset that they didn't get to go, they can talk to me, but there was just, how can I put it? There was a lot to do and say there, and how busy it was. It was packed. It was really packed. I'll just leave it at that. Definitely had fun. They have another one next year, which they probably will if I've got the money. Would love to go again. This one would have to be like save up for a little bit, but I think with what I did and what I got, and thanks to God and thanks to Dad for allowing me to have that type of, how can I put it, money to be able to make sure I had enough for everything. And to be back in my element of a convention and just be among my people, my geeks. It was so much fun. despite it all, again, with walking around with the cane and having to sit down a few times and all that, would I do it again? Of course. It was worth it. Because by the time we got back to Fremont, I was all good. I was all good. Didn't need my cane. My neighbor was outside. He was grilling. He was grilling dinner for his family because it was nice. He saw me walking. He's like, "You have fun?" I'm like, "Yeah, Chris. Let me see." So I just show him. So it was all a talk last night. It wasn't the neighbor. It was this friend that wanted to know what went on and not have a good time, and another friend, and then uh, Captain Cartoon from YouTube that has group therapy TV. Oh no, I watch his show every Saturday morning serials, and talk with a whole bunch of friends there while the cartoons go on. So it was all good. It was all good. I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that. Sorry it took a little while. Sorry I have a little bit of dry mouth and my mouth kind of hurts. I had some teeth pulled today. So, all in all, I'm in a good mood. Peace.